Good evening and welcome to it. This is Chess and Wine. My name is ADB. Up here, obviously, with the updates for the World Chess Olympiads in terms of South Africa's performance. Yes, of course. Remember in the previous update, we've seen that we got an update from our head coach, Reuben, who made mention of the fact that none of our players actually have a chance of getting any of the desired titles. But obviously, I saw an interesting update from Mr. Fanny Forster, who's also a coach within Chess South Africa, and I think he's a coach of one of the players who are taking part, or two of them, I don't know. And he did mention that we have a chance. In fact, I see that Hayley Nel, our young chess superstar, so she has an interview with an Indian chess base, in the Indian chess base, with chess base as well. The only player to score a point for us in round 7, round 8. Yes, she's actually up for a title if she gets, I think, a point. Then obviously another game, and they see there's Davido is strong as well, who has an opportunity to get a title if she gets a win, or is it a draw with Davido, and just one or two more games. So that's hopeful, and we're obviously glad for that. We are happy for that. So and our team's performance, we hope that we're going to make the top spot, get the top spot for the best African country above Egypt if they perform good. Obviously, this last performance was very brilliant, and that is much appreciated for the effort that the team has made, the coaches and everybody else that is behind the administration and making sure that they are there doing their thing in obviously representing us, representing our country, and raising the flag much higher and higher. And thank you everybody that's been supporting the team on social platforms and everywhere, and everybody that's been following the videos and following this channel, obviously encouraging us to keep making these updates for you, and obviously in the name of our players, and making sure that they remember that we are here behind them. Yeah, and with that said, let's move over to head coach Reuben Salimu for his roundup update. Fingers crossed we get something. I know if we come out in the top 100, we get a spot in the World Cup or something. There's something that we're getting from that. It means something. So let's be in the top 100 Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the last report of the Olympiad, the 45th one, which is being held in Budapest. And I've got some very good news. And in the last round, we played against Nicaragua, and we won 3-1 with Daniel Baric winning, Jan Karsten winning, Caleb Levitan winning, and Daniel Kodre, I think, losing. I think most likely his first loss or second loss. It was his first loss. It was his only loss. An amazing performance by Daniel at this tournament. I think he really showed that he was the senior player in the team, and all the contribution he made towards the ladies team, very much appreciated. This means that we finished third of all African countries, behind Egypt and Zimbabwe, who finished first and second respectively. And our overall position in the world was 67th, which is quite respectable considering we were seeded 79th at the beginning of the tournament. I think we did very well. In the women's team, in the last game, we drew with Scotland, which is quite an achievement for us because Scotland was definitely much stronger on paper than we were. And Jesse drew on board 1 and Reuben drew on board 2, which meant that it was left to the young guns, and Hayley got a win against an opponent was about 200 points higher rated than her, which means that she gets a norm actually or she gets a title for a performance at the Olympiad. What I'm not sure about is the total title she gets, I think, is WCM, and I think that is superseded by the title she has, which is WFM. But to earn a title at the Olympiad is to earn a title at the Olympiads, and that's gonna be on her record the rest of her life, so that's really good. Davida lost a last round, but quite a strong showing. These girls played very well, and to finish 6th behind other African countries like Uganda, Zambia, I think Algeria, and so on, it's quite a respectable position. They started 87th, they finished 87th, so a good performance. Our teams are very young, and I'm very happy with what they did. We could do better, but that's for future, and we need to keep in mind that they are learning, and they will be better. And who knows, maybe the team that they have, maybe other new young additions will be there. But our hope is that we'll be able to implement a plan which helps the team grow. Our aim is to be best in Africa is the first goal, and then start tackling other targets. But we want to be the best in Africa for sure, without a doubt. Take that leadership role and then move on from there. For me, this weekend, you might have missed an update or two. I had the privilege of training 45 new trainers in the Overberg area to become level 1 trainers. This was facilitated by the Department of Cultural Affairs and Sports for the Western Cape in partnership with Western Cape Chess and Chess South Africa. And this training was over 3 days, Friday evening, Saturday and Sunday. And the participants were invited by the Department of Cultural Affairs and Sports at Veda High School in Henadadel. It was a beautiful setting and quite a lot of work, but at least we know that we've got 45 soldiers out there that are going to be training new chess players for us. And to do this, we used our pilot curriculum program, and the success stories we'll be sharing over the next few days. They are amazing, and this is just the beginning of a golden age of chess.
And now, a quick look at the beautiful game played by Hayley Nel. The game that actually won her the title of Woman Candidate Master at the Olympiad. A title won at the World Chess Olympiad in Budapest, Hungary, from the final game played. This is Nel Hayley here playing white against Cook Susie. And I'm no opening expert, but this opening looks like a Catalan opening. Obviously, I'm an expert in teaching beginners how to play the opening properly by principles. You see now, every opening follows a certain set of principles. Right? It's the basic simple principles are control of the center, whether you control the center using pawns or pieces, minor pieces, and obviously activate your pieces, piece activity, and king safety. That's basically the principle that everybody should try and understand when playing the opening, and that is basically what is happening here. And but at this point, in fact, I just want to say that we must obviously, the main reason why we're actually playing this game is that it's a very exciting how the end game was played. I see the opening. The opening, it's at another level. It's not basic. That's the one thing I'm going to say about it. It's not played in a basic way. It's that follows the principles, but it's I don't think it's book opening in any way. It's nicely played. It's very creative, and that's very commendable. Obviously, for players at this level, you don't want to play everything by the book. You want to get creative. You want to confuse your opponent. You want to try out new things. So that I would say is what is happening. Look at the pawn structures. It's like all the white at up to this point. You'd say that the light squared bishop, especially white's light squared bishop, was very weak because all of white's pawns are on the white squares, on the light squares. So yeah, it's a good thing that bishop has been exchanged. And now you would see that the hope of white is basically the two connected pawns that we see up there at G and F and G, right? So to keep those two pawns safe must be the mission of this game now. And why Black's knight is much more active than White's knight, which is lying stagnantly defending the 2 pawns in B and D, D3 and B3. And the Black Knight is busy becoming a nuisance there. The back and forth would make you think that the players were playing for a draw at that point, but no one is looking for a draw. And you see, White is actually now trying to free her knight by taking the king to defend the 2 pawns that need defending. And now that exchange sacrifice, because actually the reason why we're looking at this game is because of the brilliant sacrifices that are played here. The first was obviously the exchange sacrifice, where White sacrificed the rook for a knight, again for activity, which is a good thing because that knight was busy blocking the movement or the activity of the rook, I would say. But yeah, so now the pawns are flowing and actually are supporting each other. As you can see now, there's 3 connected pawns moving forward. From here on, you would see that once that knight gets to that square that's the square it's going to now with that check. From here on, if that knight was allowed to stay there, but yeah, so that the sacrifice was returned, and we see White pushing in, and here's the second attempt at a sacrifice that was declined, and the second one now the rook is sacrificed to get the king away from the pawns as they flow in. This is brilliantly played. This is beautifully played. Oh my goodness. Nice game, Hayley. Oh, there it is. And there's that check. And the queen is still there active. You see the rook is busy causing problems. And yeah, 1 pawn down. So White is left with 2 pawns. And there's a second sacrifice that is about to come. Check, forking the king and the rook. And then sacrificing the queen for the rook again, and Black sees that this pawn reaches the promotion before mine. Wow, beautiful game. And it is through this game that we have the women candidate master Hayley Nel. Congratulations, Team South Africa. We came back with the title. Awesome.